It's HOA Jack time!
The wife made it crystal clear. Quitting the HOA board is not optional. I suggested it, once, maybe twice, but she's a firm believer in consequences. You quit, she said. Bad things will happen to you. And I believed her because, well, happy wife equals no mysteriously poisoned dinner, no weird food surprises, no nights spent questioning every bite you eat. That's a survival strategy, not a preference. So here I am, chained to meetings, spreadsheets, and the endless parade of Gerald's crises. I don't want to be here, I don't like being here, but the alternative is living dangerously, which, at my age, I'd prefer not to do. And now Gerald has found the latest apocalypse. Mary's little water feature. Tiny, delicate, almost apologetic. It's a trickle, nothing spectacular, barely audible. Yet to Gerald, this is a tidal wave waiting to happen. An environmental catastrophe threatening to sweep the neighborhood into chaos. He's convinced that property values are at risk, insurance claims will skyrocket, and the HOA's credibility will implode if the fountain remains. Of course, he has already drafted notices, fines, and emergency removal orders in his head. Mary, sweet, unsuspecting Mary, is now officially a public menace in the eyes of a man who confuses imagination with authority. I cataloged the disaster in silence, margin notes filled with sarcasm. Mary's fountain, 0 damage, max serenity. Gerald, full-blown panic. Board meetings turn into absurd theater. Gerald lectures about liability and precedent, while everyone else nods politely, because nodding is easier than arguing with a man who treats trickling water like a legal emergency. I smile quietly at the absurdity. Each rule bends, stretches, and snaps under his imagination, but enforcement remains selectively terrifying. It's a delicate ballet of paperwork, panic, and overblown seriousness that only an HOA could orchestrate. Meanwhile, Mary waters her little garden, humming softly, blissfully unaware that she's the epicenter of a suburban catastrophe. Other residents gossip, speculate, and smirk behind hands, enjoying the spectacle of an HOA president chasing shadows and water droplets. Every notice Gerald sends seems more absurd than the last, and I continue tracking fines, planning their quiet dismissal later. There's an unspoken joy in watching bureaucracy collapse under ridiculous priorities. Rules remain technically in place, papers get filed, and yet the world continues, completely untouched by the panic surrounding a tiny fountain. By the end of the week, nothing has changed. Mary's fountain burbles on, Gerald scribbles new warnings like he's in an emergency room triage, and I reflect on the cruel irony of my life. I stay on the board because the wife said so, she's right about the consequences, and yet I get to watch all of this unfold. Every absurd fine, every imagined hazard, every overreaction becomes entertainment for me. Happy wife, tiny water feature, broken-brained president. This is HOA life in its purest, most ridiculous form, and somewhere in the paperwork, Jack smiles quietly, fully aware that sometimes survival just means sitting back and enjoying the chaos.
Like and subscribe for more HOA horror stories and full-length videos on our channel.